Welcome back to a little update video. In this video, we will look what is BYND doing. We will do a little update on AMC. We will look if GME has to drop a little bit further. We make a little update on Tesla. We also will look what Trump media did yesterday and a very interesting update on Webull. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal Method. I will link the explanation video at the end of the video again, or if you want to search for it, you have to search for the playlist Fractal Method on my channel. Okay, well, then let's jump into AMC. So for AMC today, just a tiny update, just what we did yesterday. If you want to see the full tracking, if it's 1 part, 2 part, price target for 2 part squeezes and so on, it's the last meme video I did. I will link it at the end of the video. Today, we will just look what we have done yesterday. So let's zoom in. So in my last video, I said it would have been nice if we would have just gapped up to 180 yesterday on Tuesday. We clearly didn't, but we also didn't go down. But with this movement now, and because we always squeezing and gapping Monday and Fridays and doing nothing during the week, well, the gap up is off the table right now. We still have 2 versions now. I will start with the bearish one because it's the most easiest one. The bearish version would mean that this Friday double button here is a double button. In that case, as I explained in the last video, for our V, AMC never did double buttons. Double buttons for AMC means only one thing: we are going down. I mean, to say that clearly, it doesn't matter if you have in an uptrend a double button, because that happens, yeah, that isn't that bad. But for a V, a double button isn't working. In that case, this was just a bounce, and the rest of the week, we will find a new low. Yeah, there's no way around it. For the bullish versions, means, because I already showed that in the last video, that this candle on Friday was 0.001 cent lower than the previous. So if this is not a glitch on TradingView, yeah, this really could be our V, our bottom. What we did then on rest of Friday was a perfect higher low, because this is right now a perfect higher low. As long as this is holding, the bottom is in. What would happen then right now? I will start with the dream of a bullish scenario. That means we are now doing the bigger higher low, the only one we need before we squeeze, till Friday. That also means we have, today is Wednesday, we have 3 days left. That means we have to run, I would imagine, till Friday, up to 170, 180, and then knife on Friday to finish this high low. If we're doing that, I would even say, because this would be very quick, very drastic, if we do that, and we are ending on Friday here, we might really don't need this. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying it's the dream bullish version. Because then there is a chance we could start something stupid next week. If not, I would imagine we creep up, hopefully till Friday. I mean, if we are on Friday somewhere in here, that would mean, okay, we still have to creeping up the whole next week. But all in all, what landmarks we need? We need this big higher low. If we are slow after we did this big higher low, we still have to break out of this trend line here. This would be then our A. This A would reject at the 200 EMA, most likely 0.5 pullback, ready to squeeze. Right now, I can't tell you if it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I have to see first, is this holding here? And second, we have to do these landmarks. We just have to. Yeah, there's no way around it. I'm still the really opinion, we're not squeezing from here. We can squeeze off the bigger higher low. Okay, I give you that, but not from here. Okay, same for GameStop. Also for GameStop, if you want the full tracking, if you want to see how the next squeeze could look like, if you want price targets, I will link the latest meme update video at the end of the video. Today we will just look what we have done yesterday. So let's zoom in. So I already said in the last video that GameStop has to go down right now. I will show that with the combat chart too, but there are 3 scenarios right now. I will start with the most bearish one, which is sadly still not off the table. That means, especially because we are under the trend line, that means that this section here was just a little T, yeah? And we rejected the trend line and we will knife. Yeah? In that case, we are breaking this level, we are breaking the higher low level at 19, and we will break our V level at 1964, and we will go down to 17. Still don't really see that, but the alternative is still there. The not so bearish alternative would be that this section, what we are doing here, is our bigger higher low. What do I mean with that? If November 2025 was our V, then we done a little higher low from November till January, and right now we would do the last higher low we need, yeah, from January 26 till today. But for this higher low isn't finished yet. Yeah. To finish this higher low, our last higher low, we still have to drop under 21.36. Because here is our A bottom, even if it's only 1 cent. And if you look at this, we have to do it from here. Yep, here is our R bottom. So 786, still perfect. There are 2 ways for this. We knife till Friday, instantly down, and then we bounce. Or, and this is the stupid thing I will show for the bullish version, we go to 22.49, bounce, but don't break this trend line. This would be our D, and then we go down. Yeah. If we do that, what happens next? After that, we do our A, which is also our last A before we squeeze. This A has to be over $28. So I would imagine 30, 32-ish. 0.5 pullback, last 0.5 pullback, and then we squeeze. The bullish alternative would be our old tracking. This is our higher low. We don't need another one. This is a little A. The little A to this A means A pullback, B, C, which is our A. But in that case, and that's why I said before it's an SL move, your bounce target is also here at 22.65 because it's a 0.5 pullback. So you would add a bounce here in any case, in my opinion. But the difference is you're not rejecting this trend line, you go up. That's the bullish alternative. Also, if we look at the combat chart, here also just a little update. Yeah, if you want to see the full story, is also in the latest meme video. Just for a short explanation, this chart is AMC plus GME in one chart, and GME has the heavier weight to it because it's higher. But for this combat chart, the only interesting part right now is this section here, this fractal. And because this fractal would be, in the best case, finished on December 31, first. And if you look at this, we already made a perfect little higher low, and we broke out of the trend line. Yeah. So for the combat chart for AMC and GME, this is a breakout. This isn't looking like we're going really, really far down. And this is just little a, little b, little c, which is big A again. Yeah. But how does that look? This is just looking right now, we're doing a breakout retest. Yeah. On AMC and GME. What does that mean? Well, we have two versions here. The first version is, this is a normal little a, and it has to bounce on the 0.5. A, 0.5, breakout. Which also means, if we put it side by side, here normal GameStop, here combined chart, if this combined chart is bouncing at the 0.5, GME will bounce at the 0.5, 22.64. Also to say that because the price of the combined chart is AMC plus GME, in my opinion, AMC will grind up to its 180 price level. If the combined chart is not bouncing at the 0.5 and we're going to the 618 or even a normal breakout retest, well then GME has to go to its 0.61, which is 21.90. Also in this case, AMC should go up to its 180. So if anything is with this combined chart, this is looking fucking bullish. It depends on the volume, how quick we are, but this looks bullish. And I'm looking at this every day and try to track it even more. The combined chart isn't looking bad. There, especially for AMC and GME, there is something on it. But let's see. Okay, next one is Tesla. Just for a little tiny summary, Tesla started its IPO in its V, down here. Yeah. From July 2010 till June 2019, this was just our big macro A. From 2019 till January 2023, this was just our B. And yes, Tesla isn't doing a 0.5 pullback. It's only teasing you that it will go to a 0.5, but then always saying, no. For the macro tracking and for the micro tracking, it's always doing that. And since January 2023, we are going to our big C. And no, we are not even close to it right now. Yeah. So for the tracking, we are looking now at a little micro tracking. That means we already did our macro B. This was finished January 2023. And now we go into the micro tracking. Micro tracking means from January 2023 till April 2024, this was just our middle higher low. The middle higher low to the run to our big C. From April 2024 till April 2025, this was our middle A. Also, if we take from the V to the top, perfect 0.5 bounce. And now we not even have done our middle B. Our middle B, in my opinion, will come in the next weeks and months, would be this. Yeah? And till end of the year or next year, we are going then to see wherever the price is. For B, my price target is something between 700 and 1,500. I know it sounds stupid. So how far are we in to our middle B? Well, then we go even more into micro tracking. Means we already did our middle A pullback, done. What have we done since then? Well, we already did our little higher low. We already did our little a. Here also from our bounce to the top of the A, 0.5 pullback. Perfect, and bounce. And then we went up to our little b. And here again, B top, 0.5. No, we're not coming close to the 0.5, but as always, Tesla is doing that. Whenever this B is finished, I will show in a second, we will go to our little c. And our little c is our middle B. And we are interested in this run. So, what are we missing here? Well, let's zoom in. So, here on the 30-minute chart, this is our B top. This is our B bottom. And the only thing we are doing right now is the little higher low. So if we look at this little higher low, already said it in the last video on the weekend, I said this higher low isn't finished and we have to drop. Well, Friday, this was yesterday. Perfect. So is this higher low finished now? The thing is, I don't think so. But for the bullish thesis, if you break up from here, and especially if you break 424, there is no bearish alternative anymore, and you go. For my main tracking, this still means that this higher low is not finished yet, and what we did yesterday was just the peak of our little t. Means we still have to come down to our VNA. Our VNA is at 397.69, so we have at least to go 1 cent under it. Thing is, we also have a little gap here between 394 and 398. So we don't have to fill it, but if we're already here, I think we will do. And then we go. Yeah. Also, the 786, yeah, is also here. Yeah. So in my opinion, time-wise, I'm pretty convinced, no financial advice, we will finish this till February 25. That's next week. Just saying. And whenever we finish this higher low, where is it? This should be the next move. Let's see. Okay, next one is DJT. So DJT destroyed yesterday every bullish alternative. Just with 2 candles or 1 candle. Yeah? Sadly, it took the absolute bearish route. Same like FFAI. Thing with DJT. Just for the summary for his tracking, it's a nice track, nice fractal you have. It started its IPO with the high low. Then we went up to our C. We made a massive lower high, a massive midpoint, and now really a massive T. For our latest tracking, this was our higher low. With this candle yesterday, this higher low is dead. Yeah, there is no if, but, blah, blah, blah. No, this is so. So for the tracking, just for this section here, for this fractal, this peak here in December 2025, this was our T. Yeah. So what would happen now? Yeah, and that's the stupid part, because we made a new all-time low. Means we have no resistance, no support lines down here, nothing we can hold on, the same like FFAI, for example. So the only thing we can do now, we have to wait that the bottom is in. Confirmation would be a little higher low, and then we can track further. Sadly, means, let's say till Friday, we getting our bottom. Yeah? We still have to do a little higher low. This little higher low won't break this trend line. So maximum $15. Yeah? And after we did this little higher low, we can start again with our macro higher low. Yeah, means our macro higher low, the small one, which isn't allowed to break $17, or the big one, which isn't allowed to break $30. And after that, we can track the big move to A, B, and C. And that's the sad part. Yeah, I mean, it's only $1. It was only a $1 drop ish. That's not that bad. The bad thing with this move is time. Yeah, because now we have to do the higher low again. Then we have to do the bigger higher low again. That's the really shitty part, because it just showed us it needs more time. Yeah? I will still track it. I will still look at it. And if there are new updates for it, I will make it. Yeah. Well, sometimes stocks taking the bear route. Okay. Something better. Webull. And for Webull, I can only say no financial advice. Be careful that you don't miss it. Really a warning. Yeah. Because for Webull, we have a nice young fractal, because it's less than 1 year old. But for the tracking right now, we got our V at IPO, April 2025. We made a very quick ABC. Nice lower high, nice midpoint, nice T. And in the best case, our bottom was February 2026. So before we go into micro tracking, we have we have 3 versions. Third version would be the absolute bearish. This higher low is not holding. We're knifing to a new low, wherever it is. Yeah? Now the normal bullish version. Normal bullish version, if this higher low is now finished, I will give you a time for that. Our next target would be A, which is at least $1 over $10. Something in this range. 0.5 pullback. Our next target for B would be over $18. That would be the normal bullish version. The absolutely stupid bullish version would mean, because if you look at IPO, that's the only time we saw A, B, and C. We're doing after the high low is finished something like this. Yeah, I can't rule that out. I have to go with what happened in the past. Maybe. Yeah. Whatever we are doing for the 2 bullish versions, in my opinion, no financial advice, at least $10 we should get already on March 20 latest. So now let's look at the micro tracking down here. So 30-minute down here on February was our V, and now we have 2 versions for this. We start with the bearish one first. This is just our last higher low before we go. But this higher low wouldn't be finished yet for the bearish version. This peak last Friday was just our T. And we still have a gap here between 579 and 569. Means till Friday-ish we would go down, fill this gap, hold the higher low, and then we go. Bullish version means we are finished. Because if you look at this, here, we already on last Thursday, we dropped under 786. So this higher low would already be finished last Thursday. Here is also our little A. So we already did our V and A. And this thing here is just a micro higher low. Means we already did our small higher low. Means we already did our micro higher low. Means from here on, we should go up. For price levels, if you touch or break 583, I tell you, we will fill this gap. If not, because market is opening right now, we will just go up. Let's see. Don't sleep on it. It looks fantastic. Yeah? Manage your risk, but it looks fantastic. Let's see. Okay. And last one is BYND. So for BYND, in my opinion, we're getting closer and closer and closer to something stupid. Just for the summary, the IPO started in the run to its all-time high, to its C. Then it did a lower high, perfect midpoint, perfect last time to sell before we dropped to our V in October. Then we did this massively higher low. And whenever this is finished now, our next target is A and B. Our next A target has to be over the T line, which is over $15 at least. Then maybe a 0.5 pullback. Our next B is over 43, maybe a 0.5 pullback. Then the only question is, are we breaking all-time highs or not? Also to say this, we never saw how A and B looked like. Yeah. So we only saw the last run to C. Yeah. So maybe we're doing perfect rule by rule. Rule by rule means A, pullback, B, pullback, and then C. Or same like Webull, we do something stupid. We don't know that in this stock. So let's look what we have done yesterday. So still, I would say 3 versions. Yeah, we start with the third one, means the absolute bearish one, like DJT, like FFAI. This is not a higher low. This is just we knife, make new all-time low, and then we have to work from there. Yeah, not seeing that at all, but always have this alternative. Then the 2 bullish versions. The 2 bullish versions means this higher low is finishing now. Yeah, and after we finish that, we go at least to A, so at least to over $15. Now we look at this little thing here. And this little thing here got very interesting yesterday. Very interesting yesterday. So the thing is, in my last video, I said our A is here. And we still have to come down under 67 cents. And we might fill this gap between 65 cents and 66 cents. It's still on the table. But the thing is, it would be weird. If we're really going down here, it would take a little bit longer. Because that would mean that this big thing here would just be in the best case M. That would mean you would have to drop down here, come up again, do your T, and then fill this gap. This would take time, and it would look a little bit weird, but always have an old. Now for the absolute bullish version. For the absolute bullish version, this little higher low was finished on Thursday. Yeah, this would be the little higher low, the last one we need. And if you look at this section here from Thursday till yesterday before market close, this was our micro higher low. Finished. Yeah? Means this is a breakout what we did in after hours. Yeah? Also to say that if we take it a fib from the V to the peak, we came close to the 0.5, to the 786. So it is possible. If we do that, what is this? Well, this is just our little micro A. So, because yesterday already everyone cheered, yay, we're breaking out. Oh no, it's over. I wouldn't think that. Yeah. As long as you're not breaking under this trend line here again. Yeah. So let's say as long as you're not, give it a little bit quick, as long as you're not breaking 71 cents, this right now is just a breakout retest. If it's not already finished, because this here is a perfect 0.5 bounce right now in pre-market. Yeah. So if you bounce here, or at least if you bounce at 71 cents, the downtrend is over. No financial advice. And from now on, we go up. Also, to what we compare this to. Here's October. Yeah. Our start for the big higher low. Yeah. We would be right now in this pullback here, or already in this pullback here. And to say that, this here took you 2 days before we start the big rip here. Yeah. Beyond right now looks fucking ready. I try not to get too bullish, yeah, because it's easy to get too bullish. But so 2 things before I leave you to the fantastic pre-market moves, hopefully. When would I expect a peak? If we're doing normal or if we're doing the stupid version. I would say middle, end of March, latest for the A peak. No financial advice. And to say that in every, with synchronization, everything, if we look at Beyond, what did Beyond in 2021? Beyond already did, when AMC and GME squoze its lower high. Yeah. Beyond had its peak in July 2019. So if we're repeating anything of 2021, I have no proof of that. But the theory would be that if we're doing the same shooting order like back then, a lot of stocks run before AMC and GME and already are in the pullback when AMC and GME starts their run. Yeah. Let's see. Even without that, Beyond looks right now. Let's see what the day is bringing us. Okay. As always, explanation video here. The playlist for the big update on AMC and GME is up there. And yeah, if you liked it, leave a like. And let's see what the day is bringing us today. See ya.